My hardest demon in Geometry Dash was deadlocked, but I don't want to be a noob forever. That's why I'm doing this challenge to get better at GD by playing every day and beating harder and harder levels until I can be, not a noob. Oh, and, yeah, something beating zoink. Yeah, I don't know. By the end of this challenge, I'm going to try beat Kinos, but that's still quite far away. For now, I'm just trying to slowly improve at the game day by day. If this is your first time watching, I'm just going to do a quick recap just so you're caught up to speed. My goals for this month were... And so far, I've done everything but beat an Extreme Demon. Well, I still have one Insane to finish off, but who really cares? Anyway, there's not really much else to say, so this is week 3 of the challenge, and enjoy. Bruh. If you've watched the last video, you would know that last weekend ended off with me dying to the last click on this Insane Demon. No, I knew it, And to be honest with you, I did it again. But after the third time, I finally beat the level. Anyway, who cares? Extreme Demon time. For my first Extreme Demon, I had a few extremes in mind. I was thinking about going for Akyu or Kata, as I already had a bit of practice on those. But instead I decided to go for a newer level which I thought looked cool. And that level was Sweater Weather. As you may know, Sweater Weather is supposed to be one of the easiest extremes, and I thought its gameplay looked pretty cool, so I thought this would be the perfect level to beat as it wouldn't be too challenging as a first extreme. But if there's one thing I can say, it's that this week made me realise I still have a very, very, very long time until I can beat any harder extremes. And yeah, I'm sure you'll come to see that, so let's just get into it. I was able to get 87 to 100, 84 to 100, and 77 to 100, all within about 300 attempts of practice. But the last 23% of the level is by far the easiest, so it doesn't really mean anything quite yet. The first problem area arrived at 70. The ship at 70 is one of the 3 main choke points I would say this level has. Getting 70 to 100 wasn't too hard though, and I was able to do it after only another 200 attempts, roughly making my total attempts around 500. This is where runs would start to slow down a bit, as getting through the ship at 70 plus the ship at 87, which was also a problem area, started to get a bit hard. Still, on the very first day, after about 1,000 attempts, I was able to get 63 to 100 on this level. I was happy for the day, but I had only been playing the level for about an hour or so I decided to keep playing and see if I could maybe get 55 to 100. 53 to 63 was definitely an easier part of the level, so I thought it could be possible. And somehow, I actually managed to do it. After only 1.5k attempts, I managed to get 55 to 100. I was really happy with the progress for only the first day. I left day 1 feeling like I could quickly beat this extreme. If only I knew. Anyway, that about wraps up day 1. Bruh. Yeah, nothing really happened on this day. Don't even ask me how. I mean, I played. I even put another 2,500 attempts in. But no new runs, no anything really. I did learn the first 55% of the level and try to get better at the second half a bit, I guess. But I don't really feel like I did anything. I kind of feel like I wasted those 2,500 attempts, to be honest. I think it's because I came into day 2 with like no purpose. I wasn't really trying to get a specific run or learn a specific part or anything, so I kind of just ended up playing every second of it and wasting it. I think having more focus and meaningful practice is something I'm probably going to have to try and improve on. The problem areas I noted down for day 2 were the ships at 70, 89 again. The ship at 32 seemed pretty difficult, and the cube at 24 seemed really difficult at first. Anyway, yeah, that's kind of all I have to say about the nothing burger that was day 2. So, yeah. Let's just go to the next day, shall we? Bruh. After wasting away all of day 2, I didn't want to make the same mistake again with day 3. And so, I started off day 3 by trying to get the next run to 100, which would be 48 to 100. This is dropped to 100, and it's crucial that I got good at this if I wanted to beat the level. And surprisingly, it didn't really take me that long to get. Only 600 attempts later, I managed to get 48 to 100, meaning I now had over half the level in one run. Oh, okay, 48 to 100. By this point, I felt like I would maybe start going from 0 quite soon. Before going from 0, I wanted to get 37 to 100 though, as this includes the long wave section, which would be good to get down, as there's a high chance I would get a lot of runs past 37. And so, I continued playing trying to get the final run I would want before I started going from 0. This run would be quite difficult, as over 60% of the level is in this one run. Oh yes, 37 to 100. Okay, cool. Yeah, surprisingly, 37 to 100 actually came quite easily. I didn't find the wave section too hard, to be honest, so I guess adding it onto the run didn't really make too much of a difference. It only took another 600 attempts to get 37 to 100 on this level, meaning I now had 5,200 attempts total. I was progressing at the level a lot quicker than I thought, and well, I hadn't been playing that long by this point, so I thought, why not just start playing from 0 right now? So that's what I did. My first death of note was at 35. This ship from 31 to 37 would end up being where I died for a lot of my runs from 0 when I first started playing there. The first 3 times I got there, I died getting 35. Yeah, I knew I would die there. 34. Again. Then 36. No! Oh my god. It was only my 4th time getting there where I would actually pass it and get to the wave. Since I already had 37 to 100, I thought all I needed to do was get to the wave and I could make loads of progress. And on my first wave attempt, no, what? I've never died there. Okay, whatever. Yeah, I died to the last click of the wave. But hey, I'm sure I'll get there again soon, right? Sadly, I would only get there once again on day 3, getting 41%. The first 37% of the level was just way more difficult to me for some reason. Almost every section had a possible death, and I ended up dying at the 31 chip another 5 times that day. I wasn't too upset though. Although I hoped to get a drop attempt, I wasn't even meaning to play from 0 today, so I couldn't be too upset. I ended day 3 with around 6,000 attempts, onto day 4. Bruh. Day 4 was not a good day. Some days I just feel locked in, and some days I feel like I can't do anything. And day 4 was definitely one of those days. I played from 0 for about 2 hours but still wasn't able to get a new best. The wave seemed so easy from the start pause, but I genuinely died there like 20 times on this day somehow. It just seemed so impossible from 0 and I had no idea why. Not to mention my consistency at the first 37% of the level just wasn't building as quick as I would have liked. I was still dying to the ship loads even though I practiced so much. Day 4 ended with 7,200 attempts and no progress. Bruh. Day 5 was a really interesting day. I definitely felt some consistency start coming into the first 37% of the level, and I even managed to get a drop attempt on this day. In fact, I even managed to get 4 new bests, that being 53. I knew I'd die at that click. Then 55 the very next attempt. And then I died to the bit right after. These runs were both pretty early on in the day, so it gave me some hope after the slug I was in the previous day. This, however, was followed by over an hour of no new progress. It felt like I had just gotten consistent at the pre-drop, only for it to slip away so quickly. But consistency had still definitely increased, even if I did feel like I should have been progressing faster. After an hour and a half of nothing, however, I did manage to finally get better than 55.
What's this gimmick about? Your chopped little bros about?
Bro, 50... Yeah, 2% better. Maybe not the fluke I was hoping for, but it's something. Anyway, I wasn't quite done yet. I managed to play for another 50 or so minutes in which I managed to get a new best.
Buy a new mouse, return it now, not just...
No, I died in the orbs. No, that's so annoying. Hey, it was progress more than just 1 or 2%, but still, I had hoped to do a lot better on this day. Today was the first painful day I had with this level. I died at 55 at least 3 times from what I remember, but I think it was even more. And I died past the drop easily over 10 times, with basically nothing to show for it. This day genuinely made me question if I'm cut out for GD, and the pain I felt would only get worse tomorrow. I did, however, manage to stay relatively calm, and I did think to myself that maybe I am being a bit too harsh on myself. You know, struggling is how you get better after all, so even if it's just 1 or 2% at a time, I will beat the level. Anyway, I played for about another 20 minutes after that, but nothing really came out of it. And yeah, that was day 5, I guess. Bruh. On day 6, I did something you should never do. For those of you who don't know, the optimal method for grinding a level is to play it for about 2 to 3 hours a day, and then trying to get a sleep buff the next day to further enhance your skills. 2 to 3 hours is usually the sweet spot if you're doing intense grinding of a level, as any longer than that usually puts too much strain on you physically with your finger, and mentally having to endure dying to the same level for hours on end. However, on day 6 something happened. After about 25 minutes of playing, I was somehow getting really consistent at the pre-drop. Like 3 or 4 drop attempts almost back to back, with some of them even getting into the 60s. And then something crazy happened.
Not just Roblox, not slopped, just chopped. What in the bull junk are you yappeling about, bro? Yes sir, it's cold outside, bro, just die.
No, I died at 82. Oh well. I managed to fluke to 82 within the first 30 minutes of day 6. As you can see, I was just so happy about the fact I had the pre-drop consistency down, and the fact I had fluked the massive choke point ship at 70, that I didn't even care that I died at 82. This is what I would like to call the start of the end. I already felt like the completion was overdue, as I really didn't expect to spend even a whole week on this level, and this 82 death just proved that. After this, I said to myself I would keep playing until I beat the level, no matter how long it took. This was probably the biggest mistake I've ever made. Oh god, why did I do this? That pre-drop consistency quickly came and went, and then came back again, and then went away again, and then came back again, and then went away again. For the next hour, I wasn't able to get past even 65 again. But the next time I did...
Roblox, not slopped, just chopped. What in the bull junk are you yappeling about, bro? Yes sir, it's cold outside, bro, just die.
Again, 82 again. 82 again, I didn't... What? And And I still haven't died at that ship somehow. Yeah, I got 82 again. Still not having died at the choke point ship. Now this was really the beginning of the end. This is where the insanity slowly started to kick in. I so badly just wanted to be done with this level. I just really didn't want to go into day 7, so I pushed myself for another hour. And after another hour, nothing. So many deaths at 65, and so many deaths at 55, and so many deaths at the wave, and so many deaths at the ship, and just deaths everywhere and at everything. Every time one part became consistent, the other part just stopped. I felt like I was just in hell waiting for my sweet release. And after another hour, when I was so close to giving up, this happened.
Bro just died at crack because Kayla.
No! I knew I would die at 89. I hate this game so much. I knew I would die there. I was so close to not dying there. I was so close to not dying there. I was so close to not dying there. So close. Fuck. This death sparked a whole new passion in my slowly going insane mind at the time. I'd been playing for about 3 hours straight at this point, and it was already way too much. But as if some cruel puppeteer of fate was feeding me just enough hope to keep going with these new bets, I kept playing. After this 89 death, I played for another whole 3 hours. To be honest, I can't even tell you what happened in these next 3 hours. I do, however, remember getting 48 to 100, then 48 the very next attempt, and vice versa multiple times. It felt like I was just doing everything I needed to, but I just couldn't. For some reason, like, I don't know, maybe I'm just not good enough, maybe I just, like, I don't even know. My mindset was just too all over the place. All I can tell you is that whatever I did on that day, I am never doing it again. I don't think I could even find the footage for all of this, but I wrote down some stats of this day. I had 5 attempts past the second ship, at which I thought I would never die past, maybe once or twice max. And 3 deaths at the choke point ship. God knows how many deaths past to drop. But the number is probably in the hundreds. I played for so long and had such an insane amount of drop attempts. I ended the day like this. I can't fucking do this anymore. This game. Actually, fucking game, bro. This game. I really didn't want to play on day 7. And honestly, I really regret even doing so. What I needed was a break, not another day of agony. But I just so badly wanted to beat the level this week. And you know what? Within 5 minutes of playing from 0, I managed to get
It's cold outside. Bro just died at crack.
Oh, I knew it. Bro, what am I doing? Again, for some reason, this gave me hope. Only to follow with another 2.5 hours of just nothing, just like the previous day. Like, so many drop attempts, so many deaths in the 50s, 60s, everything. But no completion. I ended the day with
Outside, bro just died at crack because Kayla.
No, cool.
All I
Don't even care. Cool, don't even care. 88, what a great way to end the day. Should just end my life, bro. I'm not even f***ing kidding. And a mental that was just so beyond broken. I felt such a visceral disgust, even just looking at this level. To be honest, I think I'm going to take a 2 or 3 day break from GD. I mean, I still have a whole week left to try accomplish my goals for the month, so I'll try finish it off at the end of the next week, if I even can. To be honest, now reflecting back, I think the reason that this happened is basically just because I ignored the second half of the level. Like, once I got 37 to 100, I just focused so much less on it. Even though I did still play a lot, it was probably only about 20% as much as I played from 0. I even tried to focus more on the second half and day 7, getting another 37 to 100, but even that didn't help, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know, this week was just kind of a failure. And yeah, I don't know, I guess I'll just end this video with my last recording from day 7. Peace. Bro, I've actually never fucking been this angry in my fucking life. Bro, I'm fucking not touching this level for at least another fucking week. I'm gonna find something else to do, because I fucking actually, I'm so mad, bro. Holy fucking shit. I just fuck off, like.